Hi, second grade poets. This is Thursday morning, and I just want to give you kind of a poetry boost and give you a quick little mini lesson. Some of it is like a reminder of the things that we've been doing in class before we started doing our distance learning. So let's go ahead and get started. So the first thing I want to talk about is this idea that we need to be making sure that we're making meaning in our poetry. And as I watch you guys on Flipgrid, I am so proud of all of you and the work that you're doing. You are amazing poets, and I would like to just encourage you to keep going. So one of the things that we can do is that we can make a meaning through with images. And so what does that mean, right? So one of the things we want to keep in mind is this idea that with all the things that we're writing, that we're trying to make sure that we're trying to find that big feeling. And remember, we can find those objects within a strong memory or something that's around us. Like yesterday, it was nature. And I heard many of you really tying in these things that you were experiencing as you stepped out into nature yesterday. So just finding those big feelings and being able to put that into our poetry. Okay, so that's a main thing we're doing. Now, one of the ways that we can make sure that we are putting an image to our poetry is that we want to remember that we are going to show, not just tell. So the difference would be like if I said, oh, I went to the store yesterday. And we've talked about this before, that it would be more like I threw the door open, I hopped inside, and I buckled my seatbelt quickly. Snap. I revved up the engine and I knew I was ready to head to the store. So there's a big difference between I went to the store and all the other descriptive words that I just used. So even on this little anchor chart, it's like saying, well, I could say happy, but what if I showed what it looked like when I was happy by saying, shouted, I jumped up and down, I twirled around, my feet were dancing with joy. Okay, so being really thoughtful of the words that we use, okay, to show, not tell, right? The other thing that we want to be thinking about, and this kind of ties back to the idea that we're really trying to share our own feelings and maybe even move others with our poetry, is this idea of using honest and precise words. So again, it wouldn't be this idea of I went, it would be how did you go? Did you tiptoe? Did you crawl? Did you creep quietly along? If you're describing something else, think of how they moved, and not just in movement, but in other ways too. So be thinking about that. And one of the things I want to read to you today, just as a way to help and demonstrate word choices, is this idea, and I'm going to scoot this out of the way and scoot my chair in a little bit so I can read this to you. Oh, I've got a little bit of a morning sniffles. Okay, is this book called The Word Collector. And it also made me think of, if you haven't had a chance to look at some of the read alouds, check out Mrs. Daniel and click through the days of this week. One of the days she read The Boy Who Loved Words. So it would be another really great one for you to watch just to get ideas of words. And I want you to be thinking about how this character, through different experiences with language, started collecting words. And I want you to go through your day today and be thinking, how can I collect words? Are there words jumping out at me that I could jot down and then possibly use in my own poetry? So again, this is written by Peter H. Reynolds, and it was a New York bestseller, and it is called The Word Collector. Okay. Collectors collect things. Some people collect stamps, some people collect coins, others collect rocks, some collect art. Some collect bugs, others collect baseball cards, some people collect comic books. And Jerome? What did he collect? Jerome collected words. He has wonder right there. He collected words he heard. My trip to Peru was perfectly pleasant. Certain words caught his attention, and it shows him writing down Peru. He saw words, or he collected words he saw, Certain words jumped out at him. Willow tea shop, willow. He collected words he read. Certain words popped off the page, and here he's reading The Wizard of Oz, and it says emerald. If you know that story, you know about the Emerald City. Short and sweet words. Spark, boom, drift, dream. Two-syllable treats. Treasure, motif, candid, whisper, glimmer, hover. And multi-syllable words that sounded like little songs. Guacamole, geometry, kaleidoscope, wonderful, symphony. I hope this is giving you ideas of how to collect words today. There were words he did not know the meaning of at first, but they were marvelous to say. Aromatic. Okay, here we go. Vociferous. Woo. And effervescent. Woo. Some of these are really amazing words. There were words whose sounds were perfectly suited to their meaning. Molasses, smudged, bellow, torrential, Tyrannosaurus Rex. That's for you, James. Jerome filled his scrapbook with more and more of his favorite words, things like timber, lore, potential. Jerome's collection grew. He began organizing them. Dreamy, science, sad, action, poetic. One day, while transporting them, Jerome slipped and his words went flying. Oh my goodness. Words like zen, peace, beyond. As he began to pick them up, he noticed his collections had become jumbled. Dream cloud, lost turmeric, infinitesimal star, blue harmony, big words next to little words, sad words next to dreamy words. I like how he has the look of thinking. Jerome began stringing words together. Whisper symphony, electric peace, savor dreams, cascading stars. Words he had not imagined being side by side. He used his words to write poems. He used his poems to make songs. They moved. They delighted. See, when you care about what you're writing, you can move people, you can bring delight to them. Some of his simplest words were his most powerful. I understand. I'm sorry. Thank you. You matter. I like the little puppy. You matter, right? Jerome eagerly collected more and more of his favorite words. Oh my goodness. Hugs, thankful, waterfall, brilliance, peace, harmony. We've heard some of them, right? Gaggle. Sounds like a math word. Look it up. The more words he knew, the more clearly he could share with the world what he was thinking, feeling, and dreaming. One breezy afternoon, Jerome climbed the highest hill, pulling a wagon packed with his word collection. He smiled as he emptied his collection of words into the wind. He saw children in the valley below, scurrying about, collecting words from the breeze. Looks like a word party. Jerome had no words to describe how happy that made him. And then our author has left a message for us. Reach for your own words. Tell the world who you are and how you will make it better, by Peter Hamilton Reynolds. And then over here, instead of the N, it says the beginning. So today is a beginning for you to really listen, really think about as you're reading words that you really enjoy saying and reading, and you may collect them and use them later or even today for some poetry. So while you're writing, you can continue writing in like list form. You can use free form and using that line break and repetition and different strategies and tools of authors to write your poetry for today. I look forward to seeing you on Flipgrid. Bye.